So I was approached by this company, Anleolife, to take a look at their raised beds. Similar to the Vegeta bed that I reviewed recently, this one was sent to me for free, just with the expectation that I would talk about my honest thoughts about it. I did not sign any contracts saying I would say anything particularly nice about it. So my honest thoughts on this, I will get more into it in a in-depth comparison between the three companies that I have now raised beds from in a later video, but kind of just my initial thoughts are it seems almost exactly the same as these others. Major differences are actually the attachment points. So all these little screws that we're putting in, they are a bolt and a wing nut, basically. And the other two beds had washers that went in between the bolt and the metal. And then the Vigo one actually also had a cap bolt where all the threads of the bolt were covered by the end of the process. And whether or not that makes a difference as far as rust, it remains to be seen. You know, every year I will check in on these beds and let you guys know. But you know, my guess is that it will make a difference, but over a pretty long period of time. Another major difference is that there's no rubber liner here at the top, and again, the edge wasn't sharp. I don't know yet if that is gonna make any difference whatsoever. So as far as filling a bed like this cheaply, because I certainly don't have the money to spend on soil to fill this whole thing, I start with this cardboard layer at the bottom. It's a really good weed barrier for everything except Bermuda grass, which honestly, I don't know if anything can stop Bermuda grass. My concrete sidewalks don't even stop Bermuda grass, you know, it'll go straight under them and come out the other side. So I've got cardboard layered on the bottom. I've taken off all the plastic tape, but all of that kind of paper tape is fine to leave on. It'll break down eventually. And then on top of that, I have some kind of half-rotted logs from one of my friend's house's yards, and some kind of larger branches and sticks. The idea here is very, very similar to hugelkultur, if you've ever seen that. You start with kind of big pieces of wood and slowly get smaller and smaller as you get towards the top. And this does two things. This one takes up a lot of space that you don't have to fill with soil, that your plants actually don't need immediately. Their roots are not going to go as deep as you think. And then second of all, this is really lasting nutrition for your plants because, you know, over a couple of years this will break down and will just continue improving the soil from beneath as time goes on. So on top of all the sticks, I started putting down half broken down compost. Mostly this is like dead plants that I took out of my garden in the fall. And then on top of that, some half-finished bokashi. I'm also inserting an in-ground worm bin into this bed. That's what you see right here. And I'll do a video on more details of what I did for that and then kind of a review of how it goes because, you know, I don't exactly have a lot of experience with this and I'm not sure how well this is going to work, but I definitely wanted to try this out. Now, unfortunately, I don't make enough compost by myself to actually be able to help fill this raised bed and also amend my entire garden. I do end up bringing in outside compost. My favorite kind to get is the mushroom compost, and then also I think I got the evergreen compost. Both of those are like kind of the two cheaper options that you can get from the store. And lastly, I just collected some leaves from my yard to use as mulch. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And until next time, happy gardening!